Hello everyone, Tanak here. Welcome to episode 141 of Building My Industrial Empire in EVE Online. Let's start with the Plenitude HR. The Corp this week, we didn't have that much growth in the Corp. Actually, if you look at just the actual member in the corporation, we were pretty stable. We think we dropped 2 from last week or 3 from last week. So just Corp-wise, what we did is we did a cleanup of some of the inactive members, which were becoming obvious spy, but we did get a few more people coming in. So all in all, it balanced at the corp level, but the big difference is that we now have an alliance. So we created the Plenitude Alliance. The Plenitude Alliance is actually what it allows us to do is get entire corporation under the Plenitude umbrella, and the alliance has grown significantly. So if you count all alliance member, we're now at 98 pilot, which is pretty cool. I didn't expect. We started the alliance initially. My goal was to start the counter because you have 6 months before you can have your personalized logo. So I wanted to get our own logo, start the counter so that we can get our own logo in 6 months. And when I started the alliance, I had people interested in actually joining us as a corp because they people that didn't want to leave their corp but wanted to join our adventure. So the alliance is there. That was a pretty interesting development this week. That I kind of anticipated down the line, but again, everything with Plenitude is just going at a pace which is far beyond what I expected. So in a way, it's a good problem to have. In another way, well, I don't think I was ready for that kind of pace. But anyway, that part is pretty interesting. So that's the HR part. That's pretty much it. Now the finance part. Financially, we're doing pretty good, covering our cost. One thing that's very interesting on the financial part is the development of our market hub here, the Plenimart in Kittaled. We crossed the point where we have enough transaction that we are registering in Adam for Eve, which make us the only market in the Canada region that is actually registering in Adam for Eve. And we have a daily trade volume of about 800 million, which is again pretty good. If you look at my first metric was the amount of sell order, which was an indicator of how well supply is our market. And as you can see, we nearly caught up with Irmalin, which is an asset safety system for tree region of null space. So we almost caught up to Irmalin in terms of number of sell order. And the very positive sign I'm seeing is that the neighboring market, Agile and Guinea, Canada Prime, their total numbers seem to be dropping. So what I think is happening, and our number here is now up to 139 billion on sale at the Plenimart. So what I'm thinking is that when these market order don't fulfill, the people are actually coming to the Plenimart to post them. And anyway, that's my theory. I can now, the fun part is in Adam for Eve, I can see like all the transactions that are completing, which is really very interesting. And if you look at all the market in the game, we are now 42nd market 42nd market in the game, and this one I think need to just refresh it. So an average value, where is it here? Yeah, 37th. Okay, because we're climbing that climbing that ladder, which is again a positive sign. with that's, I think this one is a rolling 3-day average, but we're around 800 now. So anyway, that's again very positive. You can see here that in terms of volume, uh, Jita is like by itself really, really the main trade-off. Initially, when I was looking at MR, I was looking at the number of order and say, okay, there's a good number of order in MR, and in terms of value, it's about a fifth. But in terms of volume, it's about a tenth, and even lower than a tenth of Jita. And after MR, you have the new TTT, uh, and then you get Dodixie, and again, these are so small compared to MR, and very soon, like when you get out of the top 10, you're getting into like 4 billion a day, a market hub that is trading 4 billion a day, and us, which is, I mean, we are climbing that ladder pretty fast for a new market hub, because most of these hub have been established for a long time, but still the more, like, even climbing to the top 20, I think, is an achievable goal for us. But then you get to the point where you have like these huge market that are basically impossible. Well, I wouldn't say there's nothing in Eve that's impossible, but I don't. I mean, for me, my target, if I can make the Plenimart in the top 20 by the end of the year, for me that would be an incredible success. I don't know if that's possible, because if we're going by trade value, I have a lot less control over that. I can make sure that our market hub is less supply, more supplied. I mean, that you can buy anything at the market hub, but there's a limit to how much I can pull client to actually come and trade there. What we're doing is, by setting up our corporation buyback program, our public buyback program, we are pulling like the traffic from the region, or the activity of the region back to the system. And as you can see here, even right now, where it's not our main type of line, like I got 7 people in corp, but none are one is in system. I still have 11 people in system. That system was empty before we set up there. Like every time I would go there at this time of the day, there was nobody. But now, whenever I go at the Plenimart, I see there's 3 people docked there. There's always people docked up there, and always people trading there. So we did pull a lot of activity in the area, which is exactly what we wanted to do. So making that place a good place to live for Newbro is actually bringing activity to the region. So it's a good test lab for that. Anyway, so that's for the finance part. So we're very happy with the way the market hub is going. Our buyback program, we're getting around right now, just with our public and in-corp buyback program, we're getting about 1.5 billion in mineral, in compressed ore, in a typical week. Typical week, if last week is considered typical. So we got about 1.5 bill in mineral buyback, and since I'm getting either 5 or 10%, depending if I buy outside or inside. So the corp is making maybe 100 mil around on that, which goes into paying the fuel corp. Again, Plenitude is not a money making machine; it's a high sec corp. So compared to an LSEC group who have like huge ratting tax and everything, but again, we don't have the same type of fee. So right now we're running, I would say we're at break even, and probably even a little more in the profit zone. But still, so finance going great. I'm not in a state where I'm worried at all. So like I could just with Tenac writing pay for the fuel for all those 4 stations. So that's not really a problem for now. Aside from that, we got 4 more POCOs this week, which put us to 12 now total in the area close to the Plenimart. So it's kind of good for our member, because they can all set their local PI, and it could contribute a little bit to the corp finance, which is good. Aside from that, politics. I've been talking with a few local corp, uh, negotiating because I'm trying to negotiate a few blue for blue for strategic reason. Uh, some of them there's like Poco in an area, and they complete less. Like one of the group is a more PvP focused group, and they're a little bit further than where we are. So by negotiating blue for blue, they get reduced fee at our services. We get reduced fee at their Poco, and we get like just spread out the area where we can operate with friendlies. So that's one thing we're doing. But like I don't have any big announcement. We're just at the negotiation phase where we're just talking, but it's going good. Like that's a one thing. Aside from that, on the WAMP side, the war with Phoenix Coalition, there hasn't been much change on the actual map. Here, see it here. I can see the IOB. We did defend GUP today. I couldn't make that battle because I was at work, but we had like a few. This was this fight here, where they did manage to defend the system and inflict more damage. Another fort battle, in which we inflicted a lot more damage, but overall the entire front isn't moving that much. Uh, Most of the structure from Phoenix Co, they're at a weird time zone for us, so they're China time zone, and when they try to push our area, they they just don't succeed. So it's going like it's a war where there's two people bashing each other every week, but not that much change on the map. But still, personally, I was not able to attend. Most of these fights happen outside of my actual time zone. If you look at my kill board this week, it's Poco that we killed, and one little fight where I managed to shoot a red mag. So that's pretty much it for the politic activities. Now, what did we do this week in the corporation? Plenitude, we have a moon pool. Our moon is timed weekly, just that it's easier. It can be mined in like an hour and a half. We can mine the entire moon pool, and it give us something to do. So people that want mineral can do it every week. The way we work with those minerals is, again, I have said it before, but if you're new to the series, the way we work for mineral is basically just mine what you want, because we consider that we don't do nationalized moon. We consider that the moon is an actual free pool for the member, and if they want to donate something, they do. Usually, member do donate something, so we get like part of the next pool financed through that, and the rest goes through with our taxes. So that's about it for the moon thing. The buyback program I talked about already. We're gonna have a town hall this weekend. Sorry, it's gonna be our first town hall. This is like a WOMP tradition, and which I want to include in Plenitude. Is basically do a monthly town hall where leadership talk about what's happening in the corp. Member can ask question. We can discuss that in group. So this is planned for this weekend. What I want personally now, I told this last week, I need to get organized to actually just delegate more work to member, just to give them stuff to do, to share and to share the load, so I because right now I'm doing like a lot of this stuff, like moving stuff around, ending ship, like most of the corp logistic I'm doing internally. I'm using the corp buyback program, which is very useful for the fuel and stuff. But I do want to delegate, especially what I want to delegate is running activities regularly. Because what you want is you want a corp that's actually playing in space. You don't want a corp where like it's a shared chat channel, but you want to do activities as a corp. So what I want is, and remember, I've been pulling their weight and doing that. Like, let's say they're mining a system, they will say, okay, I'm mining that system. Come and join me for boost and stuff like that. But I want to encourage that and have even more of that. Start to doing maybe like small destroyer roll, or just to pass the time and go do something else in game. So stuff like that. Aside from that, well, not much. That's pretty much it. We're going in the, again. I got new stuff. I told you already. We had new stuff to do this week, but I'm getting into like a little bit of a routine where it's just the corp living its life and growing regularly with a little bit of stuff, but no big news every week. Even though we still have one, I mean, we can't be anchoring a Keepstar every week to have some new stuff. So that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoy. If you have any question, again, ask in the comment. I'm always happy to answer, and always happy to talk to people in games. So see you all next week. Bye bye.